Hi everybody, this is Pramita here, and I'm working on the trifold journals that I had talked a while back. I'm still working on them. As I said that I have made a resolution to finish all my previous projects. I do not want them to lie half done, and one of the trifolds I've already completed, sort of. Yeah, I've completed, and the second one I'm working on its cover. The inside pockets and all are done. I just need to glue them down and create some ephemera. So as I was working on the cover, just let me show you the other one that I've done. So this one is the cover that this one is the topper sort of thing that I've done, and this is, again, as I said, this is a trifold, but it has enough room for this to grow. And I had created this topper separately, and then I've glued it down. So this time, as I was working on these the second topper for the second journal, I thought of why not sharing with you people and show you how I get things done. So I'm going to be working on something very similar, not exactly same. As I said, I have all my stuff close by. Hopefully I don't have to hunt for them here and there. So I'll just walk you through the entire process. So when I'm creating a topper, what I usually do is I try to layer them on a thickish kind of paper or some sort of a book page. So this time I am using book page, and I'm going to make it to fit on this cover because this is a little bit narrower than the other one, and also uh, this will, sort of accommodate this journal. So I'm going to try and make it fit on this. So for that, first of all, I need to measure this out. Not exactly, but approximately it is around 3¼ inches. So I guess I'm going to make it 3 inches wide, and it can be a little bit tall if I want, or if it goes that way. So I'm going to just show you what I have gathered up in the meantime. I have some book pages. Now this is not vintage, but I like the patina. I have my image ready, so this is going to go on the top, and I have some knitted material that I would like to layer. And this is a wide lace I use these sometimes to make pockets or layer something up, but you can obviously use some thinner lace. In that case, I'll just show you how you can use that if you're making a topper. So you can just double this up and like, just let me show you. So suppose if I'm using something of a smaller width, I can always make it wider. So suppose this is I think 2 inches. Yeah, so this is 2 inches and this is around 4 inches. So you can just stitch from the middle and they will work out the same. You don't have to have a wider lace. Sometimes you don't have wide laces. You can even use some sort of a lacy material if you have, like something like this. This is a vintage tablecloth. I had a table runner sort of thing, and it was a big piece, quite a big piece. I just have this much left. So you can use something like this also, and then you can layer the image that you have. So you can do it that way also. Okay, you don't need to have a lace in this sense, so it can be different in each of them, but this one I'm going to be using this white lace. Okay, so what I've done is, just to give it a more tattier look, I have taken off the sewn, the binding edge that these kind of laces have. I've just taken this off so that it becomes more tatty, and I've just pulled these threads a little bit with my fingers, so that just like this, just to give that textured kind of tattier look, distressed look, you can say. So I'm going to be using this, some netted fabric, and I also have these two flowers that I will probably use somewhere. And this time I'm going to be calling this as Memories, and I will be using this oval label. Now this oval label is right now not available in my shop, but I have plans of bringing this out. I don't know when that's going to happen, but hopefully it will come soon. And also I'm going to be using some labels that I already have listed in my shop. Not these ones, they can be the vintage labels. I'm not sure about the labels, okay, so we'll decide on that when it comes to that. So let's start the layering process. As I said, the things that I'll be using, let me keep them in this tiny box. So okay, so as I said, I'm going to be using book page as the base. So since this book page is pretty flimsy, I'm just going to glue the two sheets that I have taken down so that it becomes a little bit steady, not steady, sturdy. And this glue is on its last legs. But I'm not worried because eventually I'm going to sew this up, so it's going to work out fine. So this is what it is, but I need to make this to the size of the, you know, the front cover sort of thing. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to be taking this off, sorry. So the topper will be not more than 3 inches wide, and yeah, I kind of like this tatty look. Yeah, and this side I'm going to keep it as it is. Okay, then I'm going to ink this up if the need arises. So as I said, I'm going to make sure that it's not more than 3 inches. So I'm going to keep it here, and I'll have to take off 1.5 inches. So I think I'm going to go with this side. So I'm going to take off this, and probably if I need, I can take off more later on, but not right now. And of course I'm going to take off this one, you know, blankish bit. Yeah, so this is what I have, and this is way wider than what I need. Okay, but that's okay. As I said, I might trim this off from here a little bit. So I'm going to take about 1/2 inch off, because with all the laces and the layers, it's definitely going to grow in girth. So it is going to be layered a little bit in an angular direction, and you won't be able to see the book page as it is, so no worries. Now what I usually do is I often take some music paper, but this sheet is shorter. I don't want this. I want a little bit longer, so I'm going to be using this music sheet. This is a printable I have used, and I don't remember the name of the shop. It has been with me for a while now, so I have used it in different projects, and I'll just see where, because I want this side to show through, so I also want this to be a little bit taller. Just okay. So I'm just going to take off a little bit. Around halfway through my topper. Okay, another thing I am going to give a news of is I will be coming live soon, very soon, probably this week, by the end of this week, on over the weekend, on Saturday, probably, um, to give you an introduction into, you know, how to create a masterboard from scraps. And I have done lots of videos on masterboards and collages, but I still get a lot of questions, so I thought that I'm going to give a sort of intro. This is going to be an introduction, so let's hope it goes well. So this is how my topper is looking. I know it's not looking much, but that's the idea. Like, I can put this over here. I'll just give you an idea how it's going to look. Okay, so I'm going to place this at an angle. Okay, and I'll also place, I'm going to be placing this this netted fabric behind, and I always tend to push this more towards the edges so that I can pull those threads off. So I'm just going to put this. If you have a wider net, I don't, so I do it this way, but if you have a wider net, go ahead and do the same thing with a wider net. So now I'm going to put the lady on, and then I'm just giving you some ideas. It probably will change, or it might not, I'm not sure. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I don't want this wide. This is a freebie on my Facebook group, so if you're interested, please go and join. I try and give regular you know, freebies, so that if you want to add to your already existing stash, you can do so. These, and the idea behind that is that you know, so I might put this like so, and then I have this number which I can put something like this. I don't want this to show pretty clearly, but I want this to peak, so it can go like this. And then I have those flowers which I can use. Those two flowers I had kept, one over here. I don't know, the other one must have fallen off somewhere, so I can put that over here. So this is the basic layout that I'm aiming to get. And where did the other flower go? Must have popped off somewhere. Okay, so here it is. It's just running away, doesn't want to get fixed over here. So if I put them like so, and I can place this like this, okay, so I can place this like so. It is very similar to the one that I've done, but again, as I say, it's not exactly the same. I try to create things a little bit differently, but then I think something is missing. So probably what I'll do is I'll just add some vintage lace. Just a second, I'll just bring it in. So I feel something is missing here, so probably I'm going to be adding this. This is the upside down, no, this is the right side. So I'll probably be adding this, and then what I'll do is add this, and this flower might go inside, you know, tucked a little bit in, and then I'm going to add this. So it might look something like this. Okay, so at this point of time, what I do is sometimes I take out my phone, another phone, and I'm going to take a picture so that I have a clear view of what I had planned. Okay, so now I just want to show you. Now I have this picture, so I know where I'm going to place what. So I'm going to keep that as a reference and work on the layering. Okay, so now I'm going to take everything off and we're going to start doing the same thing, and let's see how it goes. So as I said, each topper is different, but this is the basic process that I follow, and I'm pretty happy with the way things turn out. And then you can, you can of course add butterflies, flowers, and crochet doilies and stuff like that. But as I said, sometimes less is more, and I don't want to put too many layers, because more than the layers, it's the placement that matters, because you can put how many layers you want, and if you cover them up, then it's not a point anymore. So you have to keep things simple, but also they have to be a little bit of peekaboo element, so you get to see a little bit. You can't cover everything up, and there's no point in adding layers, because if you don't see it, then what's the point? Okay, so that's my philosophy. You might not agree with that. And in collages, it is more pertaining to the placement, especially the kind of collages we do, than placing a ton of layers. So you can work with fewer layers, you don't have to have too many. So I'm going to glue this down again with this awfully sticky glue stick, and as I said, I'm going to be stitching this, so I'm not worried. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this, and as I said, I'm going to layer this like so. Okay, so I'm going to see how I have layered them. So the portion at the back is wider. Now you can put this on a thicker cardstock to make it stand out more, but that makes difficult to write on sometimes, so I don't do it always, but you can do it. It's doable. So right now what I'll do is I'm going to stitch around this and place this. So I'm just going to place this roughly. So I'm going to be placing this very roughly, and then I'm also going to be placing this. Now this one, I'm going to be placing this one at a slight angle. Okay, so this is what I intend to do. So now my thing is that I'm going to stitch this, and then I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so when I'm creating a topper, I usually go about this way. You can stick these together, you cannot. If you want to skip, you can do that also. So the first thing is that I'm creating a base for my focal image, so I'll do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I have stitched the topper as such, and you will not see the stitching much, because this is a trick which can make your toppers look seamless, sort of thing. Okay, if you want to give a seamless effect, if you want this topper to get a kind of blended look, semi-blended look, you can do this. What I've done is I've stitched only in the center. I've left the edges bare, so that they have this free-flowing kind of look. So these are little things that I usually use, and I'm going to pick up all these that I'm going to be using. I'll just ink these up a little bit. So how's everybody doing? I'm okay, but my husband is not doing too well, so I'm a little bit worried about his health. Let's hope for the best. He has to run some tests, and we will be going tomorrow, so I don't know when you're going to see this video. Tomorrow, and then hopefully by the weekend we get all the results of the tests, and then we'll talk to the doctor once again. Actually, my husband's doctor, even mine, is you know, the GP that we go to is actually my husband's nephew. We come from a family of doctors and teachers, and so every other consultant we go to is either my husband's brother or my cousin or his nephew or something of that sort. So anyways, so this is how I want this image to be. I don't want this to be placed straight, nor do I want this to be absolutely you know, not like this. I want this to be wonky, but not that wonky. Okay, so then I want this to be placed here, raised a little bit. I'm going to be placing this here. Okay, so this one, probably what I'll do is I will glue a little bit and then I'll stitch, but sometimes if you want you can skip that part. So I'm going to be stitching these. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue, just for them to be held down a little bit, and then we're going to be good. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue just for this to be you know, holding on to this. So I'm going to so that's a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to place this. Not much, as I said. I don't want this to be totally lopsided, but a little bit. So I'm just going to hold this. So I'm going to stitch these two together, you know, at the same time, and then I'll be back to show you how they look. Okay, so I've stitched it, and now I just need to put this label on. Now what I have decided was that I had this scrap, you know, this thin scrap that I took off from the book page base. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on adding a layer to this word memories. So it's going to look a little bit more interesting, but I don't want to make this too wide. So what I'll do is just put a little dab of glue and I'm going to layer this like so, and you will just see a hint of the book page. You won't see much, and then I'm going to stitch this like so. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit more glue, and in a second you will be able to see what I mean by this. So this is how I basically use up all my scraps and try and use. You cannot, oh, I don't know if anybody does, but then if they do, I have huge admiration for them, because it's practically impossible. So I'm going to move this a little bit more down below, just a little hint, you know. So this will make this one a little bit sturdy, this word, and also I want this to be layered like this. Okay, so now it's looking a little bit different and also more filled out. So I'm going to stitch this on this label, and then we're going to stitch this over here. So first let me stitch this and then stitch the entire thing on this. You can do it all together, but I don't know, like I can do it together because, yeah, let's do it together. Let's take that decision. So I'm going to put this over here. So what I'll do is place this because I want those flowers also, and I'm going to be placing one below, like under this word. I don't know if you can see it, one under this word. So I'm going to stitch this like so and be back to show you how it looks. Okay, so keep watching, don't go anywhere. Okay, so I have finished stitching this topper, and let's see how it is going to look on the cover itself, because I've not tested that out yet. Keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully this is going to work out. So here it is. Yes, I love it. And now I can just glue this down over here, and as I said, I want this to be a little bit on the angular side, so that's perfect. And I'll probably give a stitching around this oval thingy, because this one I have placed a little bit on the outer perimeter of the, you know, the topper. That one is a little bit different. And now what I wanted was to place this piece on, you know, somewhere around here. So this way. I don't know if it's going to look okay. It's looking too contrived and too cluttered. I think I'm not going to put anything here. Yeah, so now I'm going to give this a good stitch, a stitching all around, and then I'll be back to show you. Okay, so we have finished this topper totally, and as you can see, it's looking pretty nice and I'm happy with it. I just need to take off these threads, and perhaps what happens is when you take off these threads you might have to trim the sides a little bit, but that's okay, like that's doable. Like I'm just going to take these threads off and also trim these down. Okay, and take these off. So even if we follow the same you know, pattern, it never becomes the same. It's very difficult to recreate something, very difficult. And yeah, so that is what it is. So I'm going to take this off, and then I can simply glue this topper down like this, and I think that's looking nice. I'm going to take off a little bit from here. Okay, and I have stitched these flowers like they might look a little bit ratty like now. I might put a little bit of glue, or I might stitch this right away. So this is how the topper is looking. I hope you people like it. If you like this video, then don't forget to give this a like button, and if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe and support my channel grow. If you press the like button and you watch the video till the end, that means that your people with your kind of taste will be having my video as a suggestive one. It's going to come into their feed, and if they want to, they can watch that. So that's going to be pretty helpful for me as a small YouTube creator, or you know, journal maker. That would mean a lot to me. So please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. Even if you even if you don't have the time, at least comment um, a little bit in the comment section, so that will make this video reach more people. So thank you everybody for watching this. Bye, have a great day.